Good morning everybody, welcome back to day 5. So we have just packed up at Newing Farm campsite in Shap, off to try to make it today if we can to Kirkby Stephen. It's a 20 miler. It's going to be a glorious sunny hot day. Great, which we're all really excited about because we're already burnt. We've sun creamed up, just gonna coming up with a bit of water and nip to the co-op and hopefully pick up a bacon butter and a few supplies for today, and then get on our merry way. If we don't make it, then we've decided that we might do 2/3 of it and possibly wild camp at Sunbiggin Tarn, which is a little over halfway today, and then finish the last little bit off tomorrow possibly. We don't know yet, we'll see how it goes. But we are all hurting and aching and suffering, but hey ho, that's backpacking for you. So I shall bring you back on the trail, although today I think there's a lot of rolling hills and farms, so it may not be the most exciting day from a video and vlogging point of view, but we'll see how it goes. So I shall catch you in a bit. So before I go any further, Shap village is over there. We've just come across these farms, saying a last goodbye to the lakes, and then we're heading off up over here, over the Lake District, away from the Lake District, and up over that bridge, which is the M6. Everybody seems to video the M6 when they're going over it. I'm not going to, because it's noisy, and why would you want to see the M6? It's a motorway. I'm sure that's not very exciting, so I shall skip the obligatory footage of the M6, and I shall bring you back when I have something more to show you. So came across the M6 up round some rolling hills, through this side of that woods. Some pictures there still of the lakes. We're officially still in the Lake District, still in Cumbria. I don't think it's until you pass Kirkby Stephen that you're actually into the Yorkshire Dales, and so we're going down here towards the edge of those woods, and then we have to essentially navigate across up to that cairn and use that cairn as a reference, if you can see that. Yeah, so very different scenery and terrain from yesterday and the last few days. It's quite grassy, which is nice and soft underfoot rather than the rocks. It is hot and sunny, but there is also a nice breeze that we're walking into, which is extremely welcome. Interesting geology of all these stones, well, for rock formations, all in a bit of a row. Just come across another one. There seems to be patches of them. It's quite beautiful really, but I'm just not sure why they're there. I'm sure somebody out there watching this must know and could give me the heads up. I'd be interested. So it looks like we're making our way down and across that direction for now, so nothing too much to see at the moment, and it's windy. I should say this bit just requires a little bit of navigation. So we are, well, this says Yorkshire Dales National Park, so I guess we must now be in Yorkshire Dales, and there's another one that way. If you can hear me because of the wind, what I should say is that we have bumped into a lot of people that have got lost on this trail. So we haven't got lost. We've made a couple of minor errors, you know, I'm talking less than 100 meters minor errors, but so far, touch wood, we haven't got lost yet. Our navigation between the 4 of us has been fine. We should do, one of them is a mountain leader. We have come across quite a few other people that have found navigation quite difficult. I saw 2 young girls last night. They got badly lost yesterday. Another chap missed and ended up on the wrong mountain and ended up rolling his ankle and having to get a taxi to the campsite, and looks like his trip's finished. 3 guys the day before took the wrong turning across grassed mere moor, which I already knew was a bit tricky, so I was alerted to it by doing my research and knew I had to be careful with navigation across it. They took the wrong turning and ended up doing a lot more miles to try and get back to where they were. So it's not to be, you know, undertaken lightly. Make sure you've got, you know, your navigation tools with you, not just relying on your phone, but you've got your map and compass so you know what you're doing. I wouldn't say it's mega difficult, but you know, you are going in the mountains and places that are quite remote, and it is important that you know where you are all the times, especially if you get injured. I've left an itinerary at home with all of our partners that tells us where we're going, what we're doing, where we plan to camp, where we might wild camp. I've given them all the grid references and telephone numbers, so if something was to happen to all 4 of us, I mean, it would have to be bad for all 4 of us to cop it all in one go, then at least they know what our schedule is for this trip. And I'd always recommend you do that. Let somebody know where you are, what you're doing, what mileage, and you know, my wife wouldn't understand the grid references or the bearings that I've given her, but she could give it to somebody if she was worried, that would know what our route is and our plan of travel, if you like. So yeah, better be safe than sorry. Anything can happen. I've seen a few injuries already this week, not with us but with other people, so you just never know. It's just so easy. So we've come down into this gully, and roughly according to my map, somewhere around here should be Robin Hood's cave. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be it. It's not really a cave, it's more like a shelter, but hey ho, maybe true, maybe an old wives' tale. I haven't done any research about Robin Hood's cave, but if anybody knows if that is the cave or where the cave is, then, and if it generally was Robin Hood's cave, did he actually really use it, or is it just a bit of a landmark, because we're a fair way from Sherwood Forest, then please let me know. We've just stopped and had lunch. We're roughly about 9.5 miles, so roughly at the halfway mark, and here at, what's this farm called? Side, hang on a minute, where's my map? It is Sunbiggin Farm. So Sunbiggin Farm, there is a, if you can see there behind me, there is a little hut with cold drinks, cake, tea, coffee, crisps, chocolate, flapjacks, water, which is an honest, essentially it's an honesty shack where you can stop and take your boots off, have a rest, get some refreshments in, and be on your merry way. So very nicely situated at the halfway point. I can't see because the sun's in my eyes. There's the sign, look, that's what you need to look out for at Sunbiggin Farm. So I've just redressed my blisters, and it'd be fair to say that they're smarting a bit. That second day doing that high route certainly did them no favours. So there's not, I mean, at the moment there's not much to show you really, because it's just rolling farmland, but I'll bring you back for the second half of day 5 when I have something to show you. There is an old disused rail line, I believe, but if you look down there you can see the beck. But quite a nice place to, if you want to rest, is to go and stop and chill out. I have to say that in Yorkshire it's far better signposted than it is in the Lake District National Park. So you can see the rolling Yorkshire Dales. So just as you come over Smartdale Bridge, you come up the other side and you can see there's a quarry up there and the house, and over there is the viaduct, which I don't know, I'm guessing is unused. Who knows? We have finally reached Kirkby Stephen. We are at Penny View Caravan Camping Park in Kirkby Stephen. It's been a long hot day, but we've made good time. It's 4:48. We left about, well, pretty much about 8:30, 20 to 9 this morning, and now it's about, what, it's 10 to 5. So it's about 20 miles, not sure exactly. If I find out, I'll put it on the screen. Now we've arrived, we're going to book in, get our car back. We've got all spare clothes in it because that's us finished for the 5 days. That's all we've got time to do, and I shall maybe do a summary a bit later on. We're going to book in and get our pictures and get set up. It's the earliest we've been to a campsite all week, so yay, done.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. So this is a bit of a different wrap up of day 5. At the end of day 5 yesterday, we got to Pennyview campsite, and we got here at a reasonable time, as you saw. We decided to take a quick break, pitch the tents, go into town and get something to eat, which actually in Kirkby Stephen's, and I forgot to video Kirkby Stephen's us arriving in there, so apologies for that, but couldn't actually get any, really struggled to find somewhere to eat because even early evening pubs were empty, but they refused to let us in because of COVID restrictions. So we really struggled to find something to eat last night, so it took a lot longer than we thought it would. So by the time we got back to 10 it was late. I made a phone call home, and unfortunately I fell asleep before I was talking to my wife at home, so I need some eat a bit of humble pie when I get home. But we were just so tired, so exhausted. Another hot day. It's been a good trip. It has been enjoyable, but it has been you know, I've done the South Downs Way, as you know, I've done the West Highland Way. This first 5 days, because we did the high route on the second day, has been far, by a country mile, the most difficult thing that I have done from a backpacking point of view. I've had some very difficult, tough mountain days, doing day hikes and walking out from the campsite and back to the campsite. But as far as multi-days and through hiking goes, yes, I know it's only a short trip, but it was far more challenging than ever expected. To give you an idea, I think the total ascent roughly was about 4,500 metres of ascent. I don't know what the descent is yet, I haven't worked that out. I did 257,159 steps, about 32,372 calories. We covered 82.1 miles, or 132.12 kilometres. So that's just a few stats that we roughly worked out yesterday. But it has been a great trip. It's been very enjoyable. I have made some mistakes with the GoPro settings. I thought I was putting it on 8 times zoom, instead I put it on 8 times speed, so I may have to edit that and see how that works. So apologies for that, I think. But when you're doing long days and you've got to get the mileage in, you've got to get from A to B. You know, we were in the campsites late every night, so trying to do wrap-up videos in the evening, trying to get that footage, and when you're tired, and it's been so hot. We were so worried about the weather, because the whole of May was terrible weather, and even up to a few days before we went they had terrible weather. And then suddenly, literally the day we left, the weather broke and went from torrential rain, winds and soggy, to almost no wind and being red hot. And I think that at the end of the day has been one of the most draining things, because water, especially on the high route, became then a bit of a problem. With there we got a water filter. When you're up high, there was less places to be able to get water. When you're in a group of 4, you can't do those shots where you're putting the camera down and you're walking past it. I could do those shots when I'm on my own, if I'm solo hiking or doing day hikes. But when you're in a group of 4, you can't make the whole group stop while you set up the camera and then get everyone to walk past it and then reset it. When you're in a group, you've got the camaraderie, you've got the encouragement to encourage you to you know, to keep moving. When you're doing solo, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and that includes your footage. And you probably move in some ways a bit quicker when you're solo hiking, but I like both. I like solo hiking. I like that the fact that I'm responsible for myself and nobody else. I haven't got to worry about anybody else, and my decision making is mine and mine alone. But actually also when you're in a group, it's good fun to be in a group as well, so I like a bit of both. But this one was a group outing. So I think that's pretty much it really. What I'm going to have my my cup of tea, and I haven't got any meals left for breakfast. You saw my meal bag in my gear video. It's down to that. I've got one expedition meal left in it, which is a spaghetti bolognese, which I never bothered eating. I have to say, actually, these expedition meals, they're not cheap. They're 800 calorie versions, but they are good. They weren't cheap, but they are good, and I think they do 1,000 calorie. I think one versions as well. And there's also, I think they do a 400 or 500 calorie version. They're generally 3 different sizes. I think maybe I should have bought the 1,000 calorie, but I didn't want to carry the weight. So yeah, so it's been a really good trip. I really enjoyed it. I sort of wish I could go on, but I think the mountains day didn't help my feet, so I am suffering a little bit with my feet. And yeah, if you've got any comments, please put them in down below. Anything you would have done differently, or you think I should have done differently, any advice, any questions that you want to know, I'll happily answer. If you want to like and subscribe, and if you fancy it, then feel free to do. It's entirely up to you, and I shall catch you on the next trip or the next vlog, whenever that may be. So for now, I'll see you later. Take care. Bye bye.